Welcome back to Rolling Dice with Tony Vice. I'm Tony Vice, and today is the first video of March. We are going to do a review of H2O-POCALYPSE from Josh Yoder and Crimson Adder Curiousities. This is a DCC compatible zine. Said it right. Compatible zine for Dungeon Crawl Classics. It jumps way off the path of what you'd be used to. You play hydropunks in a drowned world that's been overrun with melting glaciers and such. So like everything's underwater. Think like water world. Everything's underwater. The only thing that exists anymore are the rich, the poor, and the different piers that they all live on. And it's just mayhem. You play punk rockers, you do shows, you party, you wake up, you have adventures. I want to talk about three things that I really dig about this, other than just the art and the way this is designed, and just the way you can just read through this thing, and it's the fonts and just the ideas are just, it's great. Random charts are great. I mean, he's got charts for random names for random punk rock names. A lot of those names are recognized from bands that I've listened to in the past or still listen to now. But three things I want to talk about was the hydro boards. In this, punkers get around, hydropunks get around on hydro boards. Everybody plays a hydropunk with a different type of background. So you don't have like a wizard, a thief, a fighter. You're all hydropunks with different backgrounds. The rolling method for attributes is a little more, it's 4d6, drop the lowest in order. So you get a little bit more chance to have a little more oomph to your character. But back to the hydro boards. Yeah, they're cool. That's how you get around. They're powered by Atlantean crystals. The Atlanteans came back to the world bringing this technology of power crystals, in essence, batteries that are crystals. They also came back with crystals that could have spells. So your spells are like your scrolls. Sorry, I said that backwards. Your spell crystals are like scrolls. So each one has a ability, might have the ability to have a spell. And that's a cool way to introduce magic to the game if that's something you want to have in there. And there's also rules for not including it at all. You could just leave magic out and just deal with martial prowess and punk rocking and shredding. The second thing. First thing was the hydro boards. They're powered by the Atlantean crystals. The crystals can be a source for magic, so that's number two. Number three are the weapons in this. Your weapons aren't made of garbage; they're made of junk, I would say. So junk, useful junk, and it's up to the players to really decide what that weapon can and can't do, up to their imagination. And that's where, when I was running it with my players, we ran something, a play test. I could say one of them was like a rat kumite. You've seen Bloodsport. You're familiar with the kumite in rat things. That's we'll just put it that way until you play it yourself. It's a lot of fun. My players really were harnessing the 80s thrash scene, kind of like Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue, hair metal type of stuff. But they were really getting into it with their characters. They thought that most of them wanted their weapons to be their actual instruments. So they were actually using their instruments as their weapons. And I said, sure, why not? Rule of cool. This game is all about rule of cool. So if your players have something rad they want to do some like shredding, they want to see if they can shred to like almost like a grandstanding role, like try to hype up the party members, or at least get a better, try to better their odds at hitting or doing whatever they're trying to do. I let them do it because it was fun, and they really were playing that character and really getting into it themselves as players, which I don't see that all the time with my players, and I thought it was a lot of fun to be witness to. And one of the other things that really stood out was with when I played this. I ran this and I've played it. I got to play. Josh ran me and some of my friends, and I invited Nick Barron from Breaker Press because he's an old straight edge punk rocker singer, and invited him to come play with us, and Josh ran us through an adventure. The adventure that's actually in the back of the book. A lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I wish I'd read this more before I played in it, so I understood more about the world and how things work. A lot of things would have made more sense. But besides that, it was a lot of fun. Josh ran the game. In his session 0, he asked, does anybody have anything they would like not to have, come up, or it's off limits? And one of my buddies, he quit drinking a long time ago. He just didn't want to have any references to alcohol. Josh made that happen. Power ups in this game are alcoholic. I mean, it's party, punk rock party. That's kind of how it worked. But he fixed all that. And about a week later, I get this sheet in a message of all these non-alcoholic power ups you can get for your game. I'll be running this at GameStorm. I'll have that sheet with me because I may run into that same issue where I have players who don't want to discuss alcohol, or I might have younger kids that are not old enough to really drink, and it's weird to talk about that when they're not old enough to, being an adult. Um. So yeah, that was great. This works great with any group that is willing to just give it a try. And like I said, I had a lot of fun with it. I recommend picking it up. It was a Zine Quest offering last year. It's $12 for the physical format, plus whatever the shipping and handling is. You probably get this as a PDF. I recommend getting the actual beautiful blue book. This thing is nice. And in the very back, he gives Josh gives some like his appendix end, where some of the ideas of these genre came from. Obviously, Waterworld. Some of the bands that he's really into. He even has a playlist. I'll put a link to all that stuff in the show notes below. But what I really want to hear is your experience with this game if you played it, what your thoughts are, maybe just reading through it. I want ideas, so when I run this again, because I will run this again someday, it works for a really good one shot where you throw it in the middle of something. People might be burned out on what they were doing before, but this really inspires them. They get fun, have fun, get crazy, do some fun things. I want to hear what you have to say. So in the comments, post in the comments. If you've not yet subscribed, subscribe. Hit the like button so other people can maybe see this and share and comment. I would love to see that, and love to get into a discussion of what your thoughts were on this. So yeah, that's the review for March. H2O-POCALYPSE, Crimson and Adder Curiousities, Josh Yoder. He's got something in the works. He's got a Patreon. He's got something in the works coming out soonish, I think. Stay tuned for that. But again, if you have any other questions, post them in the comments. Shoot me a message. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.